WordPress widgets add additional content and features to your WordPress site. Examples of widgets are search bars, sidebars, and custom footers. One of the great things about WordPress widgets is that they require no code experience or expertise. Thanks to WordPress, they can simply be added, removed, and rearranged. The actual location of widgets on your site depends on your WordPress theme. Most themes offer several different page templates that decide where widget locations are in the page design, such as in the sidebar of your blog or at the bottom of your home page. Let's look at a couple examples. You can see here on what's called the sidebar, and this is a widget that allows you to do recent posts. Here's another widget that allows you to select categories. Another widget that is a search bar. Scrolling down, they have a widget for best of blog. These are actually images that they've created to try to make it a little more visually appealing to people, and then they're hyperlinked that will take them to different places within their blog. I have several of those. These are ads, so that comes from a company called Mediavine, and it's kind of a widget. They use a widget for placement on them. Now let's scroll to the bottom of the site and see what kind of footers they might have. And this is their footer bar. Again, this is widgets that allowed you to do this. So they have their social media. Again, they have recent posts. They also have subscribed to our newsletter. And this is basically their top navigation bar is also here at the bottom. Here's another example. This is my blog. So I have a search bar here. And then I have a couple of image spaces that I've put a copy of my book that's hyperlinked to Amazon, an ad that I've created for a program that I'm an affiliate of, another ad that I'm an affiliate of, also a link to my how to start a blog post, but I've made it an image to again try to make it a little more visually appealing, recent posts. And then you get to my footer. In my footer, I also have sign up for updates. I have a link to the Amazon site for RV parts and accessories since I have an RV focused blog, my privacy policy. Then I've added something in here that's my travel schedule and also a notice about Amazon services. So these are just a few examples of things that you can do with widgets. To see how widgets work, you're going to log into your WordPress site and go to the WordPress dashboard. And then there's a couple of different places you can find them. If you've left this Welcome to WordPress screen open, you notice right here is Manage Widgets. If you didn't, you can come over to here to Appearance. If you hover over it, Widgets is an option and you can click on that. Or if you just clicked on the word Appearance, then the menu bar comes up down here and you can see widgets is one of them. No matter which of those three ways you choose, this is what it's going to look like when you click on widgets. Over here on the left are all your available widgets, and over here on the right are all the places where those widgets could possibly reside. So here you have a header on the right, you have a primary sidebar, and again, yours could be slightly different because it's going to depend on your theme. My theme is called Genesis. As a matter of fact, I even have an update that I need to do. I'll run that right after this. So this is my theme is giving me these, but they're mostly about the same. If you hit these drop downs, it shows you some of the items over on the left that I've dragged over here to give myself in the area. So in my primary sidebar, you remember I showed you I had a search bar. I had an image that I had used to create a link to my book. Then I had a couple of ad spaces. Those are usually custom HTML that you get from the company you're doing ads with. I had another image that was a link to my free blog course that I had created. And then I had recent posts. Now you can drag these off and then they're not there anymore, or you drag them in to add them there. So you look over here, and if you wanted to add a custom HTML somewhere, you could drag it over to a new spot and it would give you a place to have custom HTML code. You remember on the other blog that I showed you, they had categories. So if you wanted to add categories, say to your footer, this is what I have right now, is these three things. I could drag categories over. And now I have categories in my footer. I give it a title. I can call it categories, or I can just say, click to read more. I can display it as a drop down. I can show a hierarchy. I can show post counts. I can do any of those. If I want to keep it, I hit save. If I don't, I hit delete and it'll be gone. Now, this is one way to do widgets. I think that this is a fine way for you to drag things over into these different categories, but this is not where I do most of my widget work. I want to actually see how it's impacting the front end of my site. So I do it over on the front end, and let me show you how to do that. You just click on the name of your website, and this is going to take you to the website's front end. Now once I'm here on the front end of my website, I click up here on Customize, and you're going to get this left side navigation bar. One of the items is Widgets. If you click on that, it opens up the rest. So you can see up here that there's a note about my particular theme, and it'll vary based on yours. So definitely log in and take a look at this and see what it says on yours. Mine says that I have 2 other widget areas, but this particular page doesn't display them. It goes on to say that they might be on other page. However, I know that there's 2 widget areas that I'm choosing not to use on my website, and that's the reason why they're not showing. So with my theme, I have these different options that I have chosen from what I just showed you on the back end to enable. So I have header right, and if you notice, it says there's an image, and that is actually this image right here. You can see it right here. I can edit it, I can replace it, I can remove it, I can even hyperlink it if I want to. And if you notice, I can add a widget. So to this place up here, these are all the same things that you just saw on the back end. Remember I showed you they were on the left-hand side and you would drag them over? Well, instead of having to do that kind of blind, if you will, because you're on the back end, you don't see what's happening, this is where I like to do it, here on the front end, because this is where I can actually see what kind of impact it's going to have on my website. So here's an example. Look at this. I could put an image gallery up here if I wanted. And then it would have me add images. It would take me to my media library and have me add images. Let's just choose a few just to see what happens. Here's 3, and then I'm going to say create a new gallery. Of course, you have options over here that I'm going to get into in the image lesson. But this is just to show you what could happen if you picked a new widget. Now you notice since it was top, they're right here up top. And I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I want to take these off. Okay, so I have a couple of different options. And this is why I like working from the front end, because it is so easy to just try things. And if you don't like it, no harm, no foul. One way I could do it is just to hit delete right here. Now say you've added 2 or 3 widgets and you go, oh, I just don't like any of that and I want to take it all off. The other thing you could do is come up here and just X out. If you hit publish, it's going to save it. But if you X out, you're going to get the message that changes will be lost. And you say, good, I want the changes to be lost. And look, it's right back to the way it was. So I definitely encourage you to play around with these. Let's go back into Customize and look at a couple more examples. Okay, we have that primary sidebar. You know, on my sidebar, I just had a search. I don't give it a title. I also had an image there, and this was an image. You can see right here what it was of my book, and you see it links to Amazon. And then I had custom HTML. This was code that the company that I was an affiliate for in that gives me. So I don't have to understand any of this HTML. They gave me the custom HTML, but just know that you can add custom HTML and then you just paste in what they give you and there it goes. Same thing with this one. This was from Outdoorsy. They use a program called AvantLink. They just gave me the code. And then I had an image for my How to Start a Blog course. And you see here it just goes to one of the pages in my website. And then I also have recent posts. And when you pick recent posts, you can give it a title. So right now it just says recent posts. If you want to give it another title, you can. And then you can choose how many is going to be displayed and it just lets me click up or down. You can also put what the actual post date was. And then again, I can add a widget. When I click that, all the ones that are options based on WordPress and based on my particular theme come up here. So let's look at another example. I could add contact info and map. Display a map with your location, hours, and contact information. Businesses like to do this. A cookies and consent banner. This is really good for people who want to comply with the EU cookie law and GDPR compliance. I think I'm going to wait and put that on my footer instead of on my sidebar. If you want people to connect to you on your Facebook page, you can put that. An image gallery. Gravatar profile, this is where you can set up an image of yourself, your own image. So go through here and try all these different ones. I'm going to point this out now just to let you know that we are coming back to this. MailChimp sign-up form or subscriber pop-up. We're going to come back to that. That actually comes from a plugin that I got from MailChimp. MailChimp is my email subscription service, and we have a whole module on email subscription in this course. And when we get to that, we're going to talk about how to use these. The way mine is set up, it's actually 3 different footers. So they're basically 3 columns. In the first one, again, I have a sign up. That was from my theme. I have a custom HTML. That was the Amazon code that they give you when you're an affiliate. And then I had text, and it was the privacy policy. This is how you would add something that you want to hyperlink without it being an image. So here I just typed in the words privacy policy. It just lets you type it right there. And then I clicked on this for hyperlink. And then it lets you actually type which page it's on. So I typed in the page for my privacy policy. Now you could have it go directly to it, or you could have it open a new tab. If you don't click that, then it just changes the page that they're currently on when people go to it. So I'm going to leave it the way it is. Again, you can add a widget. You see how it says that you can reorder? That's by just moving these, like this one's already at the top, so it can only go down, down, or these can go up. But an easier way is just to drag and drop them. Look, I've already reordered them. Now footer 2, this is my travel schedule. This is text. And basically I say where I was recently, where I am currently, what my next stops are, and I even do a hyperlink to see our RV show. And you just type in here if you want to change. See? It's text. Text you can type. And once you've typed something, if you want to hyperlink it, right there. It's that simple. You want to change it, delete it, just like any other regular text. Currently, I have a hyperlink you see to my R Village profile. It's social media for RVers. I could add a widget. So that's it. That's how simple it is to work with widgets. Again, I would encourage you to play around with the widgets that you have available right now. And then if you get to the point later where you want to add something and you don't have a widget for it, search the plugins and you'll probably find one that'll meet your needs. If you go to WordPress.org, I went to plugins and then typed in searching widgets, and you can see all of these different things that come up, different bundles of widgets that you can customize, image widgets that you can add. And again, just do the same due diligence where you read the reviews and you look to see how many installs there have been. And so you know that you're picking something that's been supported for your website. So go ahead, take some time to play around with the front end of your website to customize it and get it the way that you're happy with it right now. And in the next lesson, we're going to start actually creating content.